Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle. Today we are going to touch some grass. I'd like to take a little pause from the usual running and triathlon content that we have on this channel and just show you a little bit more of my other passion in life, which is plants. Today I am going to repot a pothos and a baby Monstera Deliciosa. It's one of the things that I like to do on weekends to kind of center myself and just slow down a bit. Because when you come to think of it, running and triathlon, they're always so seriously moving forward. They're sports that kind of have you going all the time. And so I like to do other things to kind of balance out that sort of energy. So I do yoga. Plants are the other part of that life balance equation that I have going for myself. This is the pothos and this is the Monstera that I will be repotting. This pothos has outgrown its little pot. It used to be just a bunch of leaves here because I got them as cuttings, and now the pothos has grown really long, and one of the reasons that triggered me to repot it is the birds have started to get to it. And so I realized that when I have pothos in bigger pots looking like a bigger bunch of or looking like a bigger plant, the birds don't peck at it as much. So yeah, this one needs a repot. And it's going into, no, not this pot. It's going to go into this clay pot, which is one of the other pots that I have on hand. I got into plants, like you probably saw it on this channel, but I started getting into plants sometime around middle of last year. And it's not as if I didn't really have any experience with plants before that. It's just that I didn't really think of this balcony that I have, and it now looks like a jungle, but I didn't really think of it as a place to store plants because my balcony here in this condo is west facing. So the sunlight is a bit harsh half of the day. So yeah, let's take a look at the roots. Yes, that is definitely time for a repot. And you know it's time for a repot when the roots start circling the bottom of the pot like this one has. Some people like to keep it in the root ball like this. So I'll probably do that as well. That doesn't really need to be like let loose, although I can poke at the roots a bit, give them a bit more air. And so we're going to start off by filling this pot with a soil mix that I made myself. And I started making my own soil mixes maybe 4 months into my plant journey. And it's just because it's cheaper than the ready-made soil mixes, although those are easy because you don't have to think about whether or not you're getting the right amount of everything into your soil. My general soil mix is cocoa peat, carbonized rice hull, vermicast, which is basically earthworm poop, and pumice. And a lot of plant aficionados will tell you that they use one or most of those things as well in their own custom soil mixes. I've put the root ball back inside, and it's just slightly bigger than its old pot, so it gives it a bit more room to grow. I'm going to now add a bit more fresh soil mix just to make sure that the plant still gets a lot of nutrients from the vermicast and all the other good stuff that I've added. Because, you know, in pots, plants tend to use up all of the nutrients that their soil has, and that isn't really easily replenished. I have these really long vines on this pothos, which they used to be really easy because it used to be really short, but now it's long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twirl them around the pot I'm going to stick their aerial roots. An aerial root is basically, it's part of the plant that sticks out, and it could become part of a root, or it could become part of an anchor, because the pothos is a climbing plant and it goes up poles if you train them up poles. But you can also just leave it to trail, which is what I was planning to do to this particular plant. Just giving the plant a chance to like stretch its legs, stretch its roots, and it's going to come out a bit more lush. But yeah, I'm going to water this in a little bit. Just set it aside because we are now moving on to the next plant, which is a Monstera Deliciosa in juvenile form. So this plant I bought from a plant shop because I wanted to grow Monstera. Now this particular Monstera Deliciosa on my left, this one I grew from stem cuttings. But this one I got from a plant shop, and it's basically grown from seed. And you'll notice the difference between the juvenile and the more mature Monstera Deliciosa. Yes, the leaves in the mature Deliciosa are perforated with fenestrations. I know that's not the proper term for it. And these ones do not have them. It usually takes 3 years for juvenile Deliciosa to start forming those little holes. This plant is growing upwards and it's starting to sprawl a little bit. And then you can see also that the roots are kind of starting to poke out of the soil here, which means that it doesn't have enough space inside this pot, so I have to move it out of the pot. And I'm moving it into this one. It's only slightly larger because I don't really have space in this balcony for a larger pot. And once again, we are going to try to keep the root ball of the plant as whole as possible. This is a good pot, so I'm just going to wash it and set it aside for the next plant. Look at the roots. Good strong roots, although I appear to have chopped off a little bit. And yeah, once again, we're going to fill the new pot with a bit of soil. It's getting towards the end of the year. It is the first week of December, and the year is winding down, basically. But what did we really accomplish this year? It's been a mixed bag for me. Like at the start of this year, I didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if we were going to have vaccines by now. And now we do have vaccines, but basically sports haven't really come back yet because it's hard to do mass gatherings and mass participation. And also, I managed to injure myself over the course of this year. So I'm spending the last quarter of the year trying to recover. And I am slightly recovered. Just probably just prepping for the next year. And that is also what I'm trying to do with these plants here, is I'm prepping them for the next stage in their lives. So yeah, basically checking their roots to see if they're healthy, and then adding nutrition and just setting them up for success, which is, I feel like every December that's what I do, is I take stock of things that have happened this year and things that I want to happen the following year, and I try to put myself in positions or in the conditions needed to succeed in the next year. I finished my 7-Eleven virtual run. I managed to complete all 16 kilometers a bit earlier than I expected. So I was going to do a mid-run follow-up vlog, and that didn't happen because I actually completed the distance that I needed to complete. recovery from the knee injury has also been pretty good. I am able to run twice a week now. The distances, I'm trying to keep them short and not tire myself out, because the other thing about having stopped running for as long as I did is now I am aerobically unfit and my heart rate shoots up every time I try to pick up the pace. So that tells me that my body is not really ready to go into speed work, and I have to lay down that aerobic foundation. I have to lay down the groundwork to get back to where I want to be as a runner and as an athlete. There you go, little plant. So I have a bit of space here. I will probably have to put a stick there to train this Monstera going up instead of splaying out like it has like this. For this holiday, my main goal is really just to stay healthy and keep rehabbing this knee. The guys at Pace have really done a great job prescribing a home exercise program, and also the things that we do during my once a week visits with them tell me that I am improving and tell them what the next steps are for me to take. I haven't experienced any knee pain so far anymore. It's just a bit of soreness and tightness because I am, starting to push my leg muscles again in certain ways. And I just have to keep up the maintenance on that all the time. So I'm all done with my plant maintenance. I just have to tidy up. I just wanted to give you a little window into the other things that I do. Hopefully this has kind of also relaxed you, because I love it when I work with my plants. It always relaxes me and has given you a bit of space, mental space, emotional space, to kind of start considering the things that you've done this year and the things you want to do again next year. Like with plants, you want to take stock, you want to replenish so that you can keep growing and keep going. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!